Hello, welcome back to Coding Money. I'm back with another coding challenge for you, and today we're given an array and a chunk size. Divide the array into many subarrays where each subarray is of length size. For example, if you're given an array with elements of 1, 2, 3, 4, then we need to divide this array into chunks of length 2. For example, the output should be an array containing subarrays of length 2. Here are some other test cases and examples for better understanding of this problem. Also, I've created a GitHub repository which I'm updating with each new video. So I highly recommend you to clone this repository from this URL. You will see that I've created two folders here, completed exercises and exercises. What you will do after cloning the repo, you will come to the exercises folder and open for arraychunking.js. The exercises folder will only have problems without any code solution so that you can practice this problem. That's how you get better at solving these challenges. When you try a problem and you think about it for some time, then even if you don't come up with a solution and you take a look at the solution, that solution will stick in your mind for a long time. So therefore, I would suggest you to pause the video here, give this problem a try. All right, thank you for trying to solve this problem. We're going to work on one possible way of solving this coding challenge. The first thing that I do when I get a coding problem is that I use the divide and conquer technique, where I get the problem and divide it into smaller problems. So the first problem that I'm looking at is to be able to figure out how to get the first two elements from this array, how to get the chunk of an array, right? So let me run the function and run this first test case over here. So what I would like to do is to get the first two elements from this array. And the way that we can do that is by using a built-in array function called slice. Let me open up the MDN documentation. It says the slice method returns a shallow copy of a portion of an array into a new array object, selected from the start to the end not included, where start and end represent the index items in that array. The original array is not modified. So let's use this to get the first two elements. So the way that we can do that is array.slice. The arrays are 0 indexed, which means the first element is 0, then it is 1, 2, and 3, like this. So to be able to get the first two, we'll provide the first index, which is 0, and then the second index is 2. So in this case, we have this 2, so this is great. We can use the size here. So let me return this and see what we get in the output. Yeah, so we get the first two elements from the array. So now we solved the small problem that will come in handy in solving the bigger problem, right? So now we know that we need to return an array, right? So we would need to create an empty array here. Let's call it result. So, and at the end we will return this result. Okay, we'll return this result, but first we need to get the chunks from array and push it in this array, right? So So how we can do that? We can do it like this: result dot push, and we can put push this chunk inside of this array, the empty array that we have created. However, this will only push the first two elements. Let me save this, and if I run it, you will see we only get the first chunk. However, we're not getting these other two. So we need to repeat this, and we need to a variable to keep track of the index, right? So let's use a variable called index and set it to 0. So instead of the 0, we will use this variable, okay? And we need to repeat this code, this line of code, for all the elements of the array. As long as there are elements in the array, we need to keep on repeating this. So for that, we will use a loop. So when you want to repeat a statement or code, that's when you would use loop. So I'll use a while loop while index is less than the array dot length. As long as there are elements in our array, we want to keep on executing this line of code, right? But this will run forever. This will be an infinite loop because we're not doing anything to make this stop, right? This will keep on running forever. We need to increment the index. We need to increment the index. We need to make sure that when the index is greater than the array.length, then it should exit the loop. So how can we do that? We will increment the index with the size, right? And so this will start from 0 to, and the next time I would like to add index with the size, so that the next time it will get from 2, it will start from 2 to 4, right here. But since in this example we don't have the fifth element, which is going to be index of 4, we don't have that, so it will not, this function will not take, the slice function will not take the end as we read in the documentation. So in that case, we will have 3 and 4. So let's save this and run the code. As you can see, now we're getting the correct output. So let me try to run with this example and see if it is going to work for this. Yeah, so we're getting the correct result, and that's the solution for this coding problem. That's only one possible solution. There are many ways of solving this problem. If your solution is different than this, then it's not a problem, as long as you're getting the desired output. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you want to get more videos like this. I really enjoy making these videos, and if you like or leave a comment, it supports the channel. Thank you very much.